Here I have a starter. To start this starter, start push button is used, and to stop, stop push button is used. Now I want that this starter here, we can operate this starter through limit switch also. That is, when limit switch operates, this starter must turn on, and to stop this, stop push button will be used. So with any starter, if we want to do connection of limit switch for turning on and off contactor, then for this, in this limit switch, there is a NO contact. Like if I open this limit switch, then you can see total 2 contacts are given here. One is this one and other is this. This contact here is NC contact and this one is NO contact. So through limit switch, if we want to turn on any electrical device, then in this condition, we use NO contact of limit switch. So with NO contact, I connected 2 wires. After connecting wires, what we will do, these 2 wires here, take these wires and in this start push button, this one, with this start push button, connect these wires. You can see already incoming power supply is given here, and from output terminal of this, power supply is going for turning on contactor. So what you will do, take both these wires and with these 2 terminals only connect these wires in this way. After connection, let's test this. So first of all, I am turning on MCB. After turning on MCB, if I turn on start push button, then you can see contactor is turned on. You can see my lamp is on now. Now if I press stop push button, contactor turned off. On pressing start push button, contactor turned on. Now I am turning off this and I am operating this limit switch once. On pressing this, you can see my contactor turned on. On pressing stop push button, I can turn off contactor. So for now, I can turn on this contactor through start push button as well as through limit switch also I can turn on this contactor. Now we have to do something in which this contactor here, I mean this starter here, can be turned on from one place only. That is, at a time from one place I can operate this kind of option we have to add. So if you have to do selection that from which place you need to turn on contactor, then for this kind of selector switch we have to use. We will use this selector switch in a way that if I rotate this selector switch on this side, then through start push button I can turn on the contactor. That is, when I press this now, contactor must turn on when this selector switch is on this side. After this, if I rotate this selector switch on this side, then in this condition, through this limit switch only, this contactor must be turned on. Now through this start push button, this contactor will not turn on. So how in this circuit we will do connection of this selector switch? Let's understand this. So friends, right now power supply which is going from here is going directly to A1 terminal of this contactor. What we will do, this selector switch we have, will connect this selector switch with output power supply. If we want, we can connect with input power supply also, but for now to explain you, I am doing connection of selector switch with output power supply. So what we have to do, this wire here, cut this wire from here. So I am cutting this wire from here. In this selector switch, there is one NO contact. With this NO contact, I connected this wire. Now I will connect this other wire with output terminal. It means in this selector switch, one NO contact is used for this start push button. For now, what I did, on pressing start push button, power supply which is going for contactor, I cut this power supply wire from middle and in between I connected selector switch. Now when we operate this limit switch, after operation, the wire from which power supply comes, like when we operate this limit switch, power supply will come from here. So we will connect this power supply directly with selector switch. So one wire of selector switch, I mean output wire of selector switch here, remove this wire from here. And after removing, with second NO contact of selector switch, we will connect this wire. You can see here is NO contact. With this NO contact, I connected wire of limit switch. Now from output terminal, connect one wire and provide power supply to contactor. So if we want, we can connect a wire from here to A1 terminal, or if we want, from this point only loop a wire and connect with this NO contact, so that power supply will come to this point and from here it flows directly to A1 terminal of contactor. So I am taking a small loop of wire and I am connecting this loop with this NO contact. So take other end of this wire and with another NO contact connect this wire. What happened now is power supply of this point will go to this point and from here through this wire it goes to the contactor. So whole connection of this starter is completed. Wiring which I did here, you can see the circuit diagram of this wiring on your screen. Now let's move on to the testing of this starter. Now when I turn on this MCB and after turning on MCB, if I press start push button, then contactor will not turn on. After this, even if I press this limit switch, then also contactor will not turn on. It is not getting on because right now I kept this selector switch at off position. Now if I rotate this selector switch on this side, that is if I select manual position, then in this condition when I press this start push button, then this contactor will turn on. And for turning off, we have to press stop push button, contactor will turn off. Let's see once again. On pressing start push button, contactor get turned on. On pressing stop push button, contactor get turned off. Now if I operate this limit switch, then my contactor will not get on. You can see contactor is not getting on. Contactor is not getting on because we selected manual position in selector switch. If I select auto position in selector switch, that is if I rotate this switch on this side, then in this condition through start push button it will not get on. Only through limit switch it will turn on. As you can see, contactor is on now. I am turning off this. I am showing you once again how to turn on. You can see how contactor turned on. Friends, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give like on my video, and if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please subscribe. Thanks for watching this video.